is Lishajoya. This is the day before Valentine's Day, and the reason why I'm doing this video this day is because tomorrow, Valentine's Day, the day that this video will be uploaded, is my 1-year anniversary of being raw vegan / vegetarian, completely vegetarian diet within a year. I want to show you guys the difference of how I was last year to how I am now. It's my first year, and I just want to talk to you guys about the difference in how I am versus how I was back a year ago. Okay, let's go back a year ago. Let's go back in time. Now that we've gone back in time a year ago, last year, about 2 days after my son's birthday, the day after Christmas 2013, I could not get out of bed. I just could not get out of bed. I could not even crawl. I could not go to the bathroom on my own. I was bleeding and hemorrhaging, you know where, beyond the normal, I mean all the time. And I was just so sick and nauseated, dizzy all the time, depressed, very foggy headed. I was just completely depressed, angry, confused. I mean, I was in a weird state of mind. I kind of understand how some people could commit suicide, because I kind of had a little bit of that inkling for a little small glimpse that day. I literally felt like I was gonna die that day. So I had to ask for help, and if you know how I really am, I don't like to ask for help. I'm pretty much an independent woman. So with this in mind, you know, I had to ask for help from my own father and my own mother to help dress me, change my pads, to feed me, to clothe me, to wash me. Yes, I've had to have my own father wash me, his 30-something plus year old daughter, just to help me out, and to help me out with my son and his meds, because you know, my son's an epileptic. So with that being said, me being scared as hell that I'm not going to be around for my son or my daughter, and pissed off and in this state of like, oh my god, I'm going to die, somehow I went into survival mode. I started trying to eat whatever I get my little grubby hands on. Everything that was protein, liver this, liver that, steak this, fish this, you know, everything protein. And regarding the non-vegetarian type stuff I was eating. And instead of feeling better, I was feeling worse. And I did not put the connection in my head of what was going on. Now we're going to go back in time a few months before. A few months before, I went to the doctor before I left to Mobile, Alabama to see my ex from Second Life face to face, who denied me to my face, but good thing he did, because he ain't nothing great. Okay? He's just a piece of shit, and he don't look like anything of his pictures. He's not even handsome. He doesn't even have an ass. He's like flat. Okay, his ass is flat, and he's whiter than me. I'm not saying something, you know. So, and he doesn't even have like the nothing that he had. Okay, so I was already depressed from that breakup, plus being rejected to my face. Then the next the month before that, I got diagnosed with iron deficiency. Then after I came back from Alabama, from Mobile, Alabama, I went back to the doctor. The doctor said, guess what, girl? I know. You know, my doctor is kind of like a girl-to-girl type of girl. She said, girl, you're iron deficient. You're very bad iron deficient. Your iron is 1.2, which is supposed to be like a 9 to 18 for a woman my age ovulating, you know, and here I'm bleeding like someone's fucking sticking a samurai sword up my cooch, you know what I mean, and weak as hell, and I'm not able to walk or do what I'm used to doing, you know what I mean, on top of being depressed, on top of being confused, on top of all this crap, okay, and now, here I am, you know, in the doctor's office, scheduling my next visit for my vaginal ultrasound. Do you think it's fun having a camera show up your coochie and then telling you what you've already known, what you have all along, and you can't do anything about it, except for possibly surgery? And there's no way someone's gonna sashimi this body up unless it's absolutely fucking necessary. You know, just because I have endometriosis, which is like a thick lining of my uterus, I'm more susceptible to getting cysts and fibroids and cancer than anybody else, because my lining's super thick, because it's not able to clean and shed itself out. Now, with that being said, she's telling me I need more protein, I need more liver, I need more iron, I need more this, and I need more that. So I'm doing everything she's saying. I'm even taking extra iron supplements, and I'm feeling okay, but I'm not feeling great. I go back to my doctor back in November of 2013, and guess what she says? You might need an iron transfusion. No way! And a blood transfusion! Do I want someone else's blood inside me? Do I want to risk getting HIV or AIDS or some other person's like disease and stuff inside my body? I worked hard to keep myself clean and clear. What if I want to get married someday? I don't want to give that to my future husband or my future wife. You know, I don't want to give that away to anybody. That's stupid. So here I am, fast forwarding back to Christmas, the day after Christmas, and I can't get out of bed, and I'm thinking of all these things all at once that happened from June all the way until December. Here I'm thinking of dying of cancer because the tests were not inconclusive from the doctor because they thought I had cancer in my uterus, by the way, and particularly my fallopian, and in the uterus section itself, but ended up finding out I don't have cancer, I just have fucked up uterus, alright? Just straight out. So I'm not able to get up the day after Christmas. I'm not able to go and get my son his presents because his birthday follows the next year, 12 days after Christmas, my son's birthday. And I usually get his presents because I'm a cheap ass, and I go get Christmas presents the day after Christmas because they're like half price. So he gets double the presents. Anyways, so he gets Christmas presents and then he gets his birthday presents. I couldn't even get up and do that. So here I am, sick as a dog, puking, dizzy, you know, feeling like I'm dying, feeling horrible, feeling depressed, feeling worthless, feeling sorry for myself. For the first time, I felt sorry for my fucking self. That is never going to happen again. I'm never going to feel sorry for myself ever again. Well, about a day after my son's birthday, my father makes this salad. And it's all raw, okay? And I eat it, and in 5 to 10 minutes, no joke, I feel fucking great. I feel normal. And I noticed within like 10 minutes after digesting my food that I wasn't bleeding as much. But I put it out of my mind, you know. I did not make the connection. Well, 2 weeks later, my father makes a salad again. And then it clicked in my head. Okay, if I'm eating all these fruits and vegetables, then maybe I could feel better. So I stopped eating beef and chicken and poultry and stuff like that already before Valentine's Day. Well, I was still eating cheese, I was still eating fish, but I got rid of the pork, I got rid of the beef, I got rid of the liverwurst, I got rid of all of those types of things. And I stopped eating butter and yogurt and ice cream and stuff like that. But I was still drinking milk and eating cheese. Those are the two things that were like the hardest things for me to get rid of out of my diet, including butter. But I didn't make the connection really that those were those things that were causing, you know, like my iron deficiency, extra hormones into my body. See, I was pumping extra from the hormones they put into the cows to feed them to produce more milk, into the meat, into the milk, into the calves, and so forth. I did not make the association that I was actually poisoning myself through my own diet. Now, I started eating more and more fruits and vegetables, and I was then doing my own thing. And before you know it, I was feeling better, walking. I couldn't even walk. I had to walk with a damn cane. I had to do what I had to do. I mean, it was just a nightmare having to have people help me up. My own son had to help me up. You know, my mother had to help me up. There's no more is ever going to happen to me ever again. So then all of a sudden, Valentine's Day, I was like, you know what, wait a minute, I'm going to try this vegetarian thing. This is before I saw Freely's videos. I didn't see Freely's videos until about September. So I was already 7 months into my veganism, because I was still researching what I can eat, what I can't eat in my iron deficiency type diet. So I was already reducing tannins, things that have tannins like oreganos and certain teas, and even reducing my coffee usage to accommodate it. And then I was researching more proteins, what type of vegetarian proteins to eat that have the higher amount, recipes, vitamin C. I was researching hydration, and then all of a sudden it clicked for me to go raw most of the time. And I was already eating, you know, carbs at night and the raw already. So I was already on a raw to 4 diet already before I saw Freely. Instinctively, that's what my body craved. Now let's go back to what I already had before. I have hypoglycemia, which is the opposite of diabetes. Now, my thyroid produces extra than what people do with diabetes. They have an underactive thyroid. I have an overactive thyroid. Thus, I lose weight pretty fast and I can eat whatever the hell I want. However, I was eating whatever the hell I want on the bad stuff that had MSG, sodium saccharin, sodium fluoride, all the preservatives like BHT and red lakes, blue lakes, all those things that were toxic and poisonous to my body, and especially the hormones from the milk and the cheese and the eggs. And yes, I stopped eggs, and it's still a nightmare to not eat eggs. It's still a nightmare not to eat bacon, but you have to love yourself and put yourself first to do this. It takes discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to do this diet. And people say diet, it's a diet, it's a diet. You've got to stop saying diet because diets fail. But you got to say this is a lifestyle. Your life and your style. This is what you're going to do to save yourself. If you see my videos, I was blown up. I was 160 something pounds. My organs were on shut down. I mean, my liver, my pancreas, my spleen, liver, kidneys, spleen, I'm trying to remember, there's 4 organs here. My kidneys were on shut down, my liver, my spleen, and my pancreas. Kidneys, spleen, pancreas, liver. There we go. Those are the 4 that were all on shutdown, and my body was swelling up with toxins to save itself because it wasn't getting the oxygen it needed. I wasn't feeding my body what it needs. So now, even though I have this overactive thyroid, I started eating about, at that time it was 3,500 calories a day. Now I'm at 4,750, between 3,500 to 4,750 calories a day. And I'm able to walk, I'm able to do what I have to do, and it's been the best thing. The other thing is my frame of mind. My frame of mind has changed. My mind is so much clearer than it was back then. I used to be so angry all the time. My brain was cluttered full of these negative thoughts and this and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And now my mind is clear and I don't get overly sensitive when I do what I have to do. When I make decisions, it's not like crazy brain anymore. And that's what I call it. I call it crazy brain. My brain was extremely, extremely, extremely crazy because I was filling it up with toxins. See, MSG is in a lot of our diet. MSG actually blocks the brain receptors, letting you know that you're full, and it's also a flavor enhancer, so you will end up craving more and more and more and more and more of that crap you're eating because it tastes good. Yes, but there's alternatives out there. People say, oh, I don't want to try this and I don't want to try that. Well, then that's your choice. If you want to go back to your own vomit and you want to go back to being unhealthy and sick, you have the choice to put that shit in your mouth. That's your problem. I won't feel sorry for you if you have the tools necessary to change your life and you don't. I don't feel sorry for people who have the power to do the change that they need in their lives and they don't do it. Now, with that being said, no more crazy brain for me. I don't get easily angered like I used to. I'm calmer than I was before. Yes, I get pissed off. Yes, I get hurt. Yes, I get this. I'm fucking human, people. Yes, I'm human. Oh my God. Lisha's human. But I am human. And this lifestyle has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, look at my body now. I'm not the same size as I was before. Go look at my past videos. Go look at them all. I might want to look all over the place because my whole, it's like, you see my breakup. I had crazy brain to love a man that never loved me. That's crazy brain. Why would I ever in my right mind, which it wasn't then, okay, love a man for 2 years who never really loved me? And after all the drama I went through with him, that's just fucking crazy brain. Chemicals in my body making me feel crazy over this stupid, insignificant person who used to matter, but if you think about it, doesn't. Because they never cared about me, the woman behind the Second Life avatar. After I was there for that person who's thick and thin. And that's not my fault, that's his fault. You know? And now, you have to like love yourself to change your life. I'm not saying for you to, go raw vegetarian right away, all at once. This was a journey for me, and it's still a journey for me. This is my 1-year anniversary with being raw vegetarianism, as well as raw to 4, and as well as regular vegetarian dishes with no cheese, no eggs, none of that extra vegetarian that they call vegetarian. I don't eat that way. Take 2, my battery died. So, the next thing I want to talk about is my pica. Now, pica is when you crave non-nutritious items because your body's craving something, but it can't put its finger on it, basically. It can't figure out what in particular it's craving. See, my pica in the very beginning was dirt and rusty nails. And I had to have blood tests from my doctor to make sure I didn't have any type of staph in my blood because of all these cravings and stuff. And I was also chewing on ice and breaking my damn teeth. So I started to, as I started having more of this raw to 4 diet, more of this nutritious diet, you know, in my lifestyle, I started noticing an energy change, a big energy change. I mean, I felt normal. I wasn't 100%, but I'm feeling a lot better than I have felt in many years. Iron deficiency is going to be something you're going to live with for the rest of your life, okay? It's not going to go away just because you change your diet. It's got to be a continual thing you do. Continuous lifestyle changes so that you better yourself so you can last. I now modify when I have those pica cravings, my pica cravings, I actually freeze ice in containers, but very thin, and I break it up and I let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes so it breaks up and crystallizes from the change in temperature. And then after that, I crunch on it. And now I know from my own research, when I crave the ice, I'm actually dehydrated. So that tells me I need to go drink water, I need to pump electrolytes into my system, and my pica cravings have seriously diminished. I was eating buckets of ice like this much every day. Now it's like a little small bowl every so often, but they're all crunched up. And since I've had this more nutritious diet, that I'm not finding myself craving even the old stuff I used to eat. I'm not really craving cheeses. I'm not craving eggs. I mean, the smell smells good. I give it that. But even now, a year later, when I smell or even smell it cooking, I can actually smell the additives now in the food. I can actually smell it. I couldn't smell it before. I didn't think there was something wrong with the food, but now every time I smell it, I kind of go, ah. Now, one of my goals is not just to get healthy. It is to return back to the greatest love of my life. The greatest love of my life is my martial arts training. Before myself and my son got sick, I was on training to go for world champions. And if you ever saw my video of my house, see a whole bunch of first place trophies everywhere, well, they're pretty much all mine. I've competed in several competitions when I was well, and I was on the track for world champions. And I'm on the road for a black belt, but I've had to take this time off to get better, and I'm still not 100%. I mean, I couldn't even barely walk, okay? I had to do things in small strides. The first month, I could barely walk from my front of my house to the next door neighbor's house. And I would walk back and forth until I got strong enough, with a cane, mind you, until I got strong enough to go from my next door neighbor's house, from my house to my next door neighbor's house to the end of the block. And eventually, over time, that built up. And before you know it, I was walking a full block. And then a month later, I was able to walk 2 blocks. Next time, I was able to walk a full mile. So it's a process. So you got to be really kind to yourself in this diet, especially if you have iron deficiency, anemia. And if you're bleeding like I was hemorrhaging to the point, I was going through a pack of pads, 30 pads in 3 days. No, sorry, 2 days. So I was going through 15 full packs of pads, the super overnights, plus placing toilet paper down there, and crawling and risking bleeding all over the place, and having thin blood, and sick, and nauseated, and can't eat. It was just a complete nightmare. You have to do this in small strides. But when it comes to your diet, there's something you could do immediately. Get rid of those crackers out of your refrigerator. Get out of that cheese. Get out of the eggs. Get out of the butters. Get out of all that type of stuff. I even lowered my sodium and my salt. There's actually natural salts and actually fruits and vegetables that you don't even realize is even there. There's natural pectin, fruit pectin inside there, the packed with energy you need to get the glucose to your brain. And that's another reason why I'm so clear now. I actually have the glucose my brain needs to concentrate, because your brain, when you die, is the last organ to die. The next is the heart. So the brain will die last, second to die will be your heart. Okay? So if you're feeding your brain, most likely you'll take care of the rest of your body as well. So this is my 1 year. Feel free to look at my other videos, including the breakup video, because I was really heavy even then. Because of the swelling of my organs were shutting down, because of my diet choices. So it tastes good. But is it worth going through what I've gone through? I mean, now you see, I have the body like I used to do back when I was 16, 17 years old. I'm almost as skinny as that. And I'm feeling better. I'm not 100% a year later, because it's a process. You can't go into this lifestyle thinking, I'm going to be instantly healed the moment you put the nutritious food in your mouth. The new diet, you got to do it for long term, for the rest of your life to get these results. It's not going to be instantaneous. You got to be so kind to yourself. You got to love yourself so much. And you want to put yourself first. Who cares about your family? No offense. Because guess what? If you don't take care of you, who's going to take care of your family? You have to love yourself and put yourself first. Because if you don't function, what's going to happen to everything else? What happens to your legacy? Oh, she died of heart failure because she ate unhealthy and this and that. Or could you expand your life expectancy by another year, 2, 10, 20, 30, 50, 80 years? You have a lot of life, everybody. Your life is worth it to change. Read the ingredients in your food. Stop eating MSG. Stop eating sodium saccharide. Stop having sodium fluoride. Stop having red and blue lakes in your diet. Start having more natural stuff that's natural. There's alternatives for pepperoni. There's alternatives for cheese. There's alternatives for protein sources. They're actually delicious. They're actually delicious. I didn't think this lifestyle was going to be delicious, but I'm eating more. I'm healthier, and I have a lot more energy, and I know what the freaking hell to do with. And my brain is clear, and I don't feel like I'm heavy anymore. Not just physically heavy, but my mind heavy, my spirit heavy. I feel clear. I feel like myself again. So go ahead and give this a try. And thank you for watching the changes on my 1 year anniversary of being a vegetarian / raw vegetarian / raw to 4. Enjoy.